And I want to know, are you okay? Are you? I wanted to stop by today and just check in because it has become very evident to me that many of you have been going around your day to day life. You know that you're not okay. You know that did you decide to get in a relationship with the right person? Your children seem like they might be losing their mind. It's like everything is coming at you all at once, and all of that, and you're still telling people, I'm okay. It's time to stop that. It really is time to stop. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about you shining. I work with the amazing Get Seen and Paid coach, Sharia Jackson, and she is the founder of the Shine Army. And one thing I love about her message is just this whole idea of you need to get seen, you need to shine, you need to do what it is that God has called you to do. You need to get out there, get media, get your voice heard. Shine. Sharia has her own acronym for shine. But today I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what it means in my mind for you to shine and what it means for you to shine and why it's so important for you to shine. So let's run through it really quick. So when I think about the idea of shining, what does something do when it shine? It's not dull, it's bright, it stands out. And I feel like a lot of the struggle that you've been having in your life is because you're too busy trying to be mediocre, average. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to get anyone upset with the truth. What's true for you right now. You understand that that might not work for other people. But what I want to let you know is if you want to have peace of mind, if you want to have any type of joy, any type of excitement, any type of fulfillment in your life, you're going to have to shine. You're going to have to offend some people. You're going to have to um, make some changes and make some decisions that will ultimately and quickly transform your life. So the first thing you have to do in order for you to shine is you have to get still and silent. The problem is a lot of times we get still, but it doesn't mean that we're silent. And then there are other times that we're silent, but it doesn't mean that we're being still. So what I'm saying to you is it's time for you to get still and get silent. That's the first thing you have to do. If you want to transform your life, if you want to stop feeling so insecure, you got to stop just going and going and going and going and going and doing all that busy work because all that busy work is doing is wearing you out. But I get it. You probably afraid to be alone. You probably scared of the noise. You probably sleep with the TV on, don't you? It's time for you to still your voice, quiet your life down, quiet yourself down. So the first thing you do in order to shine, you get still and you get silent. Quit running from the stillness. That's when the spirit can really speak to you. That's when God can really deal with you. And you absolutely need that in order to shine. All right. The next thing you need to do in order to shine is you have to humble yourself and be honest. Humble yourself and be honest because we will embrace a pretty lie instead of dealing with the ugly truth. And in order for you to be honest, a lot of times you have to practice humility because you, probably like me, you probably made up an image, you made up a character in your mind and you became that person. You made up stories about why your parents did this, why your parents did that. This is why your ex did this to you. This is why your boss is doing this. That's not really the truth. And you won't be able to address that truth until you're willing to humble yourself. That's why you need to get still. That's why you need to get silent. Because in the stillness, as well as the silence, you can gain the truth. Be honest with yourself. Humble yourself. Because your pride is in the way of your breakthrough. I understand you've had to protect yourself and you couldn't show people how you felt because they would take advantage of you. But in order for you to get to the next stage of your life, you can no longer live like that. So humble yourself and be honest. Now, once we've humbled ourselves and started to be honest, now we can start to be intentional and initiate. You have to be intentional about the transformation taking place in your life. You have to be intentional about who and what you're going to initiate. You may need to go to therapy. You may need to go back and get some additional training. You may need to have a conversation with your mother, a conversation with your father, a conversation with your best friend or your boyfriend or your ex-friend. You may need to write a letter to that loved one, even though they've passed on. But the what you found out when you got still and you got silent and you humbled yourself and became honest, now you're living a more intentional life. And when you're living intentional, there are things that you initiate and out of intentionality that you wouldn't normally do when you just haphazardly live a life. So you have to intentionally initiate. That's how you're going to get change. Too many times you waiting for somebody to come, waiting for somebody to come and ask for forgiveness, waiting for somebody to offer you what you already know that you want. The Bible says we have not because we ask not. I'm telling you, it's time for you to be intentional and initiate. So if we're going to shine and continue to transform our lives, if we're going to really be okay instead of pretending like we're okay, then we have to do what's necessary. Nurture what's necessary. That's the end in shining. So what have we done so far in order to shine? We've got still and silent. We've humbled ourselves and gotten honest. We're now intentionally initiating. And now you're nurturing what's necessary. I understand the way that you came up, you probably had to take care of everybody. You had to nurture those, even those that were hurting you, those that were disrespecting you, those that maybe didn't have your best interests at heart, but you had to nurture them, right? You had to take care of things people made you believe were important. If it was important to your mom, it had to be important to you. If your auntie who you admired thought something was important, you made that important to you. But after you become intentional about initiating, you only nurture what's necessary. Your life will transform when you stop doing all of the extra things and focus on the entree. Too many times you focus on appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, and sides. It is time for you to focus on the main entree, which is you. Stop playing, stop prioritizing other people and making yourself second. It is time for you to make those changes. Nurture only what is necessary. And after you've done that, you exponentially execute. When you start moving from a place of shine versus a place of insecure, a place of lack, a place of doubt, then the execution, the things that you're able to accomplish will grow exponentially. You'll be surprised at the things that you can do with your life. I never thought I could be an author. I never really thought I would be a business owner on the level that I am now. I have two companies, well, three companies that I'm running, but two companies I actively work in. I never thought that could happen. I could pay my own salary. I didn't think that those things were possible. But why? Because when I started to shine, my life started to exponentially grow. But I had to execute. I had to stop making excuses to play small. I had to stop making excuses to be mediocre. I had to stop making excuses for people to abuse me and let me down. Oh, because we've been together all these years and I've known you all these years. No, miss me with all of that. God has kept me. I could have been dead. I was out here living life crazy, but God. And the Bible talks about us living like a city that's set up on a hill, right? A city that's set up on a hill isn't trying to hide. Now I know in your past you've gotten accustomed to playing small and not shining because a lot of people around you can't handle your shine. But what I'm telling you is it's time for you to shine. It's time for you to transform. It's time for you to make those adjustments and make those things happen. And the time is now. Think about it. Love y'all. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, signing out.